Hey guys, this is Jay Calder with JAYONBOXING here, giving you a personal prediction for Stephen Fulton versus Naoya Inoue. And as always, this is just my take. Of course, your predictions can be left down in the comments. This is a very, very good fight, a polarizing one with predictions all over the place. So would love to hear yours down in the comments section below. Would love to hear them all. And a little bit of fight info here. We have Stephen Fulton taking on Naoya Inoue. This will be at the ARIAKE Arena in Tokyo, Japan. Probably butchered the venue name. Such as life. This will be airing on ESPN in the States in the junior featherweight division with Fulton's WBC and WBO junior featherweight titles on the line. Now, this is a fight. OMG, I'm looking forward to this one. In Stephen Fulton, you have an unbeaten, unified champion, a highly skilled champion at 122 pounds that is on the cusp of any respectable top 10 list and has looked better and better in pretty much every single fight. A winner for Naoya Inoue makes some pound-for-pound material and a big name in the sport. It really does change him and his trajectory thus far. However, Inoue is a former undisputed champion and undefeated himself and is not a slouch at all. High on most pound-for-pound list as we speak. And he's a puncher that has legit skills as well. So, what's going to give in this encounter? Does the speed and kind of technique of Fulton win as the away fighter, or will the power and precision of Inoue be too much for the American? Let's break this one down. Starting with the champion, for Fulton to win, you want to land the lead right hand. It's probably one of your faster shots, and you throw it and time it very well. So I think it's certainly a shot you're going to want to set up, and it has to be in play in this particular fight. It's one of those shots that's quick enough that it can catch Inoue off guard and leave you relatively safe from his power, meaning you're not having to set it up too much, you're not having to cock back with it, it just gets straight to the target, and then you're in a relatively safe position. This can allow you to score, then even get inside and tie him up and reset when needed. So you really don't even have to make it a shot that'll force an engagement, but rather can kind of neutralize him right after scoring for yourself. This also can, over time, frustrate Inoue if you're able to land with it, score with it well, land it crisp and clean, and then just either tie him up, circle him, or even duck under those hooks that he's trying to throw and catch you with. It's a shot that could potentially fluster him if he's just not able to get anything going against it. If you're Fulton, you're not a big puncher, and yes, Inoue is moving up, but Inoue's taken some pretty big shots in his career and seems to handle them relatively well. For Fulton, you have to be able to score consistently with a hard shot that at least gets his respect and put some scores on the board for you. I would also argue stay off the ropes. In this fight with Inoue, you just can't be up against the ropes. He's too good of a fighter. He puts his punches together too well. His shot selection's too good. If you're limiting your movement, which is one of your better skills if you're Fulton, you're just not doing yourself any favors and really are putting yourself in a dangerous position. You have to have the ability to push him back, kind of sucker him in and counter if you need to, something to get away and turn him when necessary. You just can't be on the ropes. When you're on the ropes, you're taking away that movement as mentioned. You're taking away your ability to kind of lean out of shots. Eventually, if you're allowing someone with the kind of power that I believe Inoue will carry up to 122 pounds to just tee off on you, one of those shots is going to get through, and you just don't want to test if your beard can really handle it. There's no reason to test that theory out. It's a fight. You're already going to be hit. There's no reason to make it easier. You're going to have to change directions when you're circling. Don't let him cut off the ring and stay off of those ropes. And finally, don't neglect the body. Number one, this is going to help slow him down, lower the guard, typical stuff, but it's going to take some of the sting out of his power. If he's moving up and maybe the power isn't quite as concussive as it once was in those lower weight classes, attacking the body will make it even less effective. You can do this with simple shots too. It doesn't have to be giant hooks always on the inside, though they can work too, especially if you do them right before tying up. But it could be simple shots like just stabbing to the body with the jab and just hitting it over and over again. Over time, that's at the very least going to have some effect. It's money in the bank the earlier you started in the fight as well. The only thing is when you're doing this against a power puncher, you have to be careful. You have to be mindful of the potential power coming back. It's something that can allow for you to be countered over the top. So that jab will do really well to kind of minimize that to some degree. And when you're hooking on the inside, he can't necessarily get full, complete extension on the shots. So it's about as safe as you can get considering the circumstances. In any event, the body cannot be avoided in this fight. Now, switching over to Inoue. For Inoue to win, I think you want to keep your shots quick. You don't really load up much, but that could be tempting here with the faster opponent. Someone that really is going to make you flustered and frustrated at times if he gets you missing a few. You want to make sure that you're just letting the shot count for itself. You don't have to force anything. You have explosive power. Keep it fast and short. That natural explosive power will pay off over time as it gets home more and more, and the work will work itself out when you land. Once you get there faster, the work will happen, and then you can start throwing those bigger bombs as he's maybe up against the ropes or slowing down or feeling the effects of those just kind of naturally evolving shots. When you're forcing the action, you become too telegraphed, you cock back the shots a bit too much, and it just becomes something that Fulton can counter and kind of move around. You're just giving him too much time to think, and he's a thinking man's fighter. Instead, you want to keep those shots quick, short, straight and to the point, and as you're setting them up over time, they can get bigger and put a little more force, a little more oomph into them. But to start out, quick and direct is probably your best play. I would also say left hook, right hand. To me, this will be the combination for Inoue, in my opinion. It's the selection of punches that I think he can do the most damage with consistently, because they kind of set one another up to some degree. The left hook by Inoue turns over so quickly. It's the easiest shot you're going to be able to land, and it's a shot that you're going to land pretty consistently if you get it going. It just has to be thrown, and I think you're going to do that in this fight. What's more, it lines up that right hand so well down the middle, and that's a shot you really can put some force behind as well. Once the right starts getting going, it's pushing Fulton back, and it's going to push him back further and further because he has to also be mindful of that left hook and not circling into it. If he's trying to move the other way, the right hand is there to continue to tag him. So it really does just one washes the other, so to speak, if you can get both of them going. Starts with that left hook and finishes with that right hand, and I think you'll have some success. And finally, don't neglect the body. That's right. Both fighters need to target that body. For Fulton, it's to sap the sort of speed and power of Inoue, and for Inoue, it's to take away the speed and movement. Similar reasons, but slightly different as well. Fulton will likely want to move in this fight. I think over time, that's just what he's going to want to do. He'll come forward at times if he's starting to get successful, just to continue to build on that lead, but ultimately, he's going to want to move. Attacking the body is going to slow him down, slow some of that movement up, force him to fight, and give you the sort of chances you're looking for to land your bigger blows. Of course, it's going to lower the guard, as I mentioned. Of course, it's going to sap some of the overall just explosiveness out of his movement, whether it's speed or power. But attacking that body ultimately is just going to set up so much of your work. It settles him down, lowers that guard in general, as mentioned, and then allows for that left-right over the top to start kind of opening up for you as the fight progresses. But again, it needs to incorporate that body attack. You really cannot neglect it. Now, in terms of my pick here, I think Fulton has a real shot. He's a very, very good fighter, but my money would be on Inoue in this one. I think Fulton will do well early, but ultimately it's during those kind of quicker exchanges where they're both going to be looking to land something because they both are used to doing so with their faster hands, and I think that's what will ultimately be Fulton's undoing. Possibly that left hand in particular of Inoue. I think Fulton's slick enough that he's going to survive early on, but he's going to get caught on the ropes more and more as the fight progresses, and as that happens, it's just going to be troubling times for him. Fulton will make it through those middle frames, I think, making the fight maybe ugly at times, holding when he needs to, and again, even having some moments here and there, perhaps if Inoue overcommits, but he will continue to steamroll unless you hurt him, and he'll build into this fight and more, landing bigger and bigger shots round by round. The body attack, coupled with that left-right combination that I've mentioned, will ultimately stop Fulton in his tracks and cause a halt to this action, either up against the ropes or if he slumps to the canvas in those later rounds. Winner, Naoya Inoue via late fight stoppage. Now, the betting odds for this fight have Fulton coming in at a sizable underdog at a plus 210, with Inoue coming in at a minus 290. To be fair, I think these odds are... I get them. I understand them. It's a bit crazy when the guy is moving up and the unified champion is a 2-1 underdog, but I understand because Inoue does seem like such a phenomenal fighter. It's one of those things where you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt until you find reason not to. If, Fulton made this fight tougher or beats him, then, you see the rematch and you'll see some adjusted odds. But at this point, I understand them. For the most part, you actually can find a little bit of value in either. If you're a big, strong believer in Inoue, 3-1 is not absolutely terrible for a fight at this level. Of course, if you think Fulton, then perhaps natural 122-pounder, who might even be moving up to 126 after this fight, is good at 2-1. Of course, that's a very good line there as well. In terms of the over-under, haven't been able to find one just yet. I'm sure that'll come up in the coming week or two, but I did find whether or not the fight will go the distance. The odds makers are saying that the fight going the distance is at even with a stoppage of any kind, coming in at a minus 140. To me, based upon this type of fight, I would think that the stoppage has the best value. Number one, you're getting a pretty decent to almost even return in this case, considering it is the projected ending to this fight. Again, Fulton might just be too big. Maybe he puts some hurt in Inoue, and maybe that's how he wins. At the same time, if you're an Inoue supporter, you probably think he's going to get the stoppage anyway. So either way, it's kind of one of those hedge your bets, but at the same time give yourself decent odds while you're doing it type bets. So a small to medium bet there seems to make sense to me. But again, when I find those odds for the over-under, I will pin them down in the comments, get you guys a bit more information on that. But until then, those are your odds. And my prediction record as of this recording is 21-10 with 13 exact, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Love to hear your thoughts, predictions, bets, so on and so forth. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at jcalderon_JOB, and of course on Threads at JAYONBOXING. You can email me at jayonboxing@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you there as well. And of course, be sure to check out jayonboxing.com for schedule, results, betting odds, grades, rankings, all that good stuff. And as always, until next time.